Mark, how difficult is it for a team to go on the road and looking for a win, having lost their opening game at home?
If anything, I guess it probably makes the job easier, doesn't it? You sort of, we all know it's a must-win now, really. You set yourself up by losing that first one at home, which was bitterly disappointing for us, for the squad. So now we know we need to go away and get a result, and then hopefully we get a result this weekend that can take us into Connacht having a chance in the group.
Montpellier, the pressure's on them as well because they lost at Connacht, so I mean, it does look like it could be a really tight group.
Yeah, exactly. I think now we've both lost going into this, it does become that. I know it's only the second round, but it does become that sort of must-win to give yourselves a fighting chance to get out of the group. It's pull no punches. It's a tough group to get off from the start. So losing at home, obviously we didn't get off to the best of starts, and I guess it gives us a great chance to go away to French giants and give it a real crack.
Result obviously not what you wanted, but the performance, how much better was that compared to the Leicester and the Saracens games in the Premiership?
I think they were chalk and cheese. I think Leicester and Saracens wasn't a reflection of where we want to be, and obviously there were still mistakes, and we lost the game, yes, but there was sort of, I think everyone could see firstly the buy-in from the players and the heart, and then mistakes happen in rugby, and we probably let ourselves down, especially the second half with a few sort of errors, but wasn't through a lack of trying, whereas the previous 2 weeks have probably not been quite where the standards we want to set for ourselves. And I think they're the harder ones to take when you don't quite reach those levels in the game. So I think they're sort of worlds apart in performance-wise.
Chris Harris impressed against Toulouse, tackled everything that moved. How much has he brought to the competition in the centres? Because obviously at the moment, Billy Twelvetrees has been on the bench for the last couple of games.
It is great. I think that's what you want, don't you? You want, he's come back from the World Cup and brought, like you said, real competition, real energy to the position. But you want that. You want people coming in. You don't just want to be able to say you'll definitely be in the team for the next few weeks. You want to be able to. People are training on edge. There's great competition. You see the team run against the bibs and everybody's fighting for those positions. So likes of Owen to come back from injury, Trini's back in the foreseeable future. So it's only going to get tighter for competition.
And I suppose what's also got to be linked in with that is that midfield relationship which you, Billy Twelvetrees, Danny Cipriani, and now obviously Joe Simpson, knowing Danny's game so well, of actually getting that as slick as it can be.
Yeah, I think that's probably the not so much the competition, but just making sure everybody gets enough reps with everybody in different positions and get used to the way people run things slightly differently. I might do something different to Bill at 12, and Chris and Bill might run similar lines but slightly differently. So it's just timing and consistency, really. I think that's probably what's key, and you see those things that start to develop after a few games.
Yeah, I suppose it's familiarity within the combinations as much as anything, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think we definitely got that consistency last year with Dan and a consistent 10, 12, 13 or 9, 10, 12 combinations, and we want to get to the stage where we can put any of the above in and they're all knowing exactly what each other are going to do and the timing that these moves happen off. So I think that's the key rather than the actual personnel.
And when there's creative players like you and Danny there, how much does it just help that there's so many flyers as well? If you can get the ball to Joe Simpson, he can run it in from anywhere.
Yeah, I think so. I think you see how dangerous the back three is. We've got a few policies where if you want to try and get the ball to them as early as possible and in as much space as possible. The likes of Ollie, Jason, Tom Marshall, they've been flying this season already and just really carrying on the form from last season. I think that's just the job inside them is a lot of the time just to lock up the defence and give them as much time and space on the ball, and they make things happen. Like you said, Joe on Friday night makes things happen.
Montpellier expected to kick a bit more than Toulouse. How much does that just sort of give the backs an opportunity to run back with the ball?
It should do, yeah. Hopefully get a nice dry day in France and give our dangerous runners a chance to light up a bit. But potentially we've not had the time to do that this season. A lot of wet days so far, and we've had to play a little bit more of a structured game. But hopefully, like you said, it gives a little bit more chance to get the ball into the danger men's hands.